Okay. Let's see if this worked. I don't know what happened there. What is going on with this? I had I had a lot of people in the chat, and okay, it looks like I'm back now. Yeah, it looks like I'm back at least. So let's hope this sticks. Say hi in the chat if you're here. Sorry about that. I have no idea why that happened, how that happened. It sucks because of my first show back. First show back after a couple weeks. And this had to happen. Well, Eddie Halloween's back in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And here's Christian Spencer. There we go. Sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. Absolutely no idea what happened. Oh, we got some latency things here. Okay. So, guys, sorry about that. Let's hope we get everyone back in if we can. I just sent a message on the other one saying, hey, it restarted. Go find it. I've never had to restart one of these before. That was actually quite difficult. I had to reuse all my settings again and whatever. Hey, there's Molly from Final Girl Friday. Hey, we are back. Did you make it into the last one somehow? I don't know. That was interesting. Molly says YouTube has been asked today. Well, I wish I had that heads up earlier. Wish somebody could do it. Hello, is YouTube behaving now? So far, it looks like I can still see me up on YouTube. I got to use that monitor a little bit more often, I think. Glad to see most people are back. So that's good. Very good. Okay. Well, I got to give my shout out. Let's give my shout outs. Now we've mucked around too much that I gotta have to regain everything. So anybody else have? So it sounds like there's been issues on YouTube today, according to Molly at least. Chris, did you do a stream earlier today that you had any issues with? I never had to restart a stream before. That really sucks. We seem like we're back in business for now. So my shout outs, Breathless Beauties. Those of you new to the channel, go check out Michelle Apollonia's work of Breathless Beauties. She does absolutely amazing work. There's my buddy Leatherface. And also shout out to Miss 44, who does this really cool obscure artwork. Some horror themed artwork as well. She's got a theme with cows I love so much. She was in the other chat and now hopefully she's back in. Michelle, if you're back in, say hi. Because we are back. There's Leatherface. I always have to put a Leatherface in there. Me being the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy that I am. But yeah, let's see. What were you saying about my... Oh, that's where it cut off. I was answering your question, and it cut off there, huh? That early. Let me just make sure I'm still live. Yeah, I'm still live. I really hope YouTube is not going to screw me over today. So basically, Christian, filmmakers shoot by location typically, because they don't want to have to make trips back and forth to a location. So you never shoot at the beginning of the film and then end the film unless it's shot all in one location. A good example of that is The Breakfast Club. That's one of the only films out there that's been shot everything in sequence from beginning to end in order. It's nice when you can try to do that a little bit, but at the same time, it's very, very hard to do especially when you're on a budget, because you shoot it by location and you try to shoot around any costume changes and stuff like that as much as you can. It can be difficult sometimes. So it's to shoot everything in sequence can be tricky, especially if you've got multiple locations. So so I'm shooting my film From what I can tell you so far, because we haven't shot it yet, but we're planning to shoot mostly all the exterior stuff first and then move to interiors after. So that's kind of our plan anyways, is to shoot exterior scenes first, which aren't too many. It'll probably take a few days to get out all the exterior location stuff. There's some locations that we would use that would require both interior and exterior. It's possible that we could do those in the same day if the locations match. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, that's the best way I can explain that. Yeah, and a shout out to some of the fan films that are still crowdfunding out there. Links are in the description, I think, because I had to redo all my settings. If they're not, then go back to the old one. But I think I was able to figure out how to reuse all the same info settings on this one. So links are in the description to My Special Boy, the Haddonfield Nightmare. I believe they're still crowdfunding, and Valentine Bluffs. They just got a couple days left on their crowdfunding campaign. They've hit their goal though already, so that they did great. But go support them. You don't see, these are all fan films. I'm a huge supporter of fan films now, so yes, go support them. Go support them. My Special Boy is a Friday the 13th fan film. Haddonfield Nightmare is, of course, a Halloween fan film, and Valentine Bluffs is a My Bloody Valentine fan film, which you don't see very often. So, anyways, hopefully everything's back in order now. Double check again. Hey, I still see my lovely face on YouTube, so there you go. I'm just gonna check it from time to time. Now, I know we probably don't have everybody that we did have back in the chat, but that's okay. So some of you may have heard about the test screening of the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I have heard about it. This came about almost 2 weeks ago now. I wanted to jump on it right then, but I couldn't. I just absolutely couldn't. Has anybody in the chat actually heard about the test screenings for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film? Let me know in the chat. Let's see who in the chat has actually heard of that. I can't see there. Any of you guys actually heard of what happened in the test screening? Let's just say it's not good news, unfortunately. It sounds like it's pretty negative. Now this dropped on Mr. H Reviews channel about a week and a half ago, I think. He's a pretty heavy YouTuber. He's from the UK. I check out his channel from time to time, and I guess he's a big old school chainsaw fan too. So he definitely has a lot of the same. He likes it like I do, anyways. So I guess a friend of his was part of the test screenings, and basically gave him a whole rundown of the entire film, basically the entire plot, and I can say it does not sound good from what I'm hearing. Now, could they reshoot it? Maybe. Could there be reshoots? I don't think so, though. Because judging from what I have heard, it is going to take... you basically need to reshoot the whole movie. The whole movie. From what I heard, it doesn't sound good. Hey, Bobby High's in the chat. Hey, Bobby. Ho, Bobby. I got to add a thing for that. If every time you're... I don't know. I could probably add that into my show. But yeah, I mean... Oh my God, it's OBS. OBS is going wrong. Oh boy. Hopefully I'm back now. It looks like I'm back, but... What is going on here? What on earth is happening? Sorry, guys. This has not been a good night for streaming, has it? I don't know what to tell you guys. Oh, man. What is going on with this? I don't know. I don't know, but... Okay. Okay. Can you guys see and hear me okay? It looks like I'm on, from what I can see. Looks like I'm on. But it said OBS disconnected that time. I don't know if that's the same thing that happened before, because it didn't say that before, but I seem to be back on. I hope. Coming through clearly for me. Okay. Good. That's what I like to hear. So, where was I? Yeah, we're talking about that. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. It definitely does sound like they are trying to copy a little bit of Halloween 2018. Definitely to an extent, bringing Sally back in that same sort of role as Laurie Strode. I won't get into the details. If you guys, because I don't want to spoil it for you either. I had to know. But if you guys want to, go over to Mr. H Reviews channel, because he's got all the juicy gossip. You go check it. This he did a live stream about a week and a half ago. He read through all his friends' notes, and basically told you how the film goes. And it doesn't sound promising, guys. It doesn't sound promising, but you never know. It could be fixed. Will it be fixed? Gotta shoot the whole film over again. I don't know. I have a feeling this is not going to be in theaters. This might get shelved totally. I don't know. And I've heard a lot of people say to me, well, you'd think with Fede Alvarez behind this movie that it would be something good. Yeah, but here's the thing though, guys. Fede Alvarez is put in a producer role. He didn't get put in the director's chair. So why do they do? I feel like they put him in that producer role for him to be a poster boy for the movie, to really try to be the PR guy, because everybody loves Fede Alvarez right now. So he was a good person to use as kind of a poster boy and say, oh, he's a producer, so it's got to be good. So and it makes sense because he's done a lot of the press stuff. He did that press talk with the Bloody Disgusting team and everything like that. It makes sense, guys. It's a marketing strategy more than anything else, I think, which is too bad because there's just so much potential. And a lot of people don't think that anymore, and that's too bad. Steve should direct. Yeah. Well, you're getting a film out of me, that's for sure. That's all I can say. I mean, I hope that that we can make the film that we want to make. I hope we can, because it won't be what I heard. It won't be what I heard from that film. I'll tell you that. And again, go check out Mr. H Reviews if you want to know more. I don't want to spoil anything, but needless to say, it does seem like they are trying to copy that formula, which makes sense. I get it. Halloween 2018 was a hugely successful movie. But you got to remember, Leatherface and Michael Myers are two very different villains. Sally and Laurie Strode are two very, very different final girls. And to try to do the same thing with Sally that you did with Laurie, just it doesn't work for me. In my opinion, though, that's some people might love it. But the test screening didn't go well. Everybody was pretty negative about it. The only positive thing they had to say was the practical effects were good. And that's cool and all, but, some good gore moments, whatever. That's cool and all, but at the end of the day, I need a good movie. Yeah, at the end of the day, we need a good movie. Let's get a good movie, people. Anyways, so I just thought I would drop that and talk about it a little bit. It's kind of the only news regarding the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film coming out, but I thought it was worth at least talking about a little bit, even though this video is strictly supposed to be about jump scares. But I wanted to at least talk about that. I wanted to address it because some people might know about it. One of my followers on Instagram actually brought it to my attention. It wasn't like I was just cruising through YouTube and came across Mr. H Reviews. It was one of my followers that sometimes is in the chat. He's not here today, but he shared the video with me, and I was like, okay, here we go. It's I had to check it out because if it's bad, I don't want to see it. I want to know why it's bad, and I know why it's bad. Anyways, so that's enough talk about that. Let's talk about jump scares. I don't think we got all of our I don't think that we've got everybody back from that we had. Unfortunately, that's kind of too bad. But they'll see it on the replay. And do remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's really unfortunate. I don't know if it was internet issues on my part or the OBS was just acting funny or YouTube. Is it the second time it said OBS had crashed? What can you do, eh? What can you do? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a techie guy, just so you guys know. Doing all this live stream stuff, I always thought this was beyond me. So let's talk about my top 10 jump scares now. These are just my top 10 jump scares. Yours will probably be a lot different. Keep in mind that I don't find a lot of the newer films, a lot of the modern jump scares to be that scary. I know that some of the popular ones are from like The Conjuring and Insidious and Sinister. There's a Lawnmower one I saw on YouTube, and I don't know. Hey, Mandy's back. So we're getting people back at least. Sorry about that, Mandy. Sorry about that, everyone. It is what it is. It's technology, and I don't know technology very well. As you can tell, I had to restart the whole stream, and that sucks. I think we were actually had a pretty good chat going. I didn't look at the numbers exactly, but it seemed like there was a lot. So anyways, hopefully most people come back in, but we're now just getting into my top 10 jump scares. So don't expect to see a lot of modern films on there. A lot of these modern films I watch and I'm like, oh, okay. Doesn't really do a lot for me, unfortunately. There are some good films. And at the end of the day, too, I'm not really a jump scare guy. They have to be done right. They have to be done a certain way. I find that most jump scares are like, okay, why did you do that? A big offender for me on that was the most recent Blair Witch movie. I think that was 2016 or 2017. One of those, 2016, I think. Anyways, that one was like every 2 minutes there was a pointless jump scare with nothing attached to it, and it was pissing me off. I made it through the whole film, and the ending was not too bad, but overall I didn't care much for that. The jump scares were too much for me. Too much. Carlos is back. There we go. Okay, so you know about you know a little bit about this, Carlos. Good. It doesn't make sense with Lori. It was kind of my worst fear to do that with the character. But anyways, let's get on to my top 10 jump scares, okay? So this was actually kind of a hard list to make. I'm not going to lie. It was very hard for me to really rank them. And there's a couple on this list maybe I could have had. I was like thinking, oh, it's been a long time since I've seen The Exorcist 3. I never really liked the film very much, but yeah, I do remember that one jump scare. I went back and looked at it and I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. And another one was the shower scene in Psycho. I was going to put that on this list, and then I just rewatched it just to see if it holds up. And you know what? I'm going to be honest, guys. It doesn't hold up for me. You kind of see it coming, and so it almost doesn't even feel like a jump scare. I don't know if maybe not. I used to think of it as a jump scare, but it doesn't even feel like a jump scare anymore. And you guys can all feel free to post your top 10 jump scares. They won't look anything like mine, probably, probably not. And a lot of my the bottom ones on this list can be kind of interchangeable. It's really hard to rank them, but I did. I ranked them, and never know, it could change. Uh, so yeah. With that being said, I will start at my number 10. Definitely, I like this movie a lot more than a lot of the other movies on this list. There's some of these movies I don't really care much for. Hopefully, there's one or two movies on here you haven't seen, but you've probably seen most of them. Maybe at least one. I think one of the movies might be unknown to most people. We'll see. But the first one, the movie is Seven, and that was the sloth guy. Everybody, you think this guy's totally done for, and then he's alive. Hey, So those of you who've seen Seven, hopefully I'm not spoiling anything for anybody who hasn't seen Seven. This was quite a grotesque moment, actually, in that movie. God. But yeah, I mean, I remember it getting me pretty good when I had first seen it. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen Seven, go see Seven. I believe I did put it in my top 10 horror movie or horror and thriller. I kind of combine horror and thrillers together because it's a great film. Great film. One of the best. It's one of the best. One of the best horror films. One of the best. Anyways, so yeah, that would be my number 10. It is great. Yeah, Gory Rory likes it is a good one. I almost put it in the Exorcist 3. I was like, okay, the movie's so bad though. I don't like those types of movies. I guess I'm not. I mean, I like the first Exorcist, but I don't like the other ones. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch them. Maybe I do. I don't know. Just not my type of horror, I guess. So it's why I couldn't quite put it in. I think the way the camera zooms in that one is pretty good, but I think that makes it more effective. But anyways, I like them when you don't see them coming. Let's just say that. Next on my list, the ending to A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, Nancy's mom getting pulled. That I didn't see that coming. Again, I think a lot of people don't like this scene. I've heard a lot of people say they don't really like it, but I do. I don't know. To me, it was an effective jump scare. Freddy pulling Nancy's mom. I can't even remember her name, but it's been a while. It has been a few years since I've even seen a Nightmare on Elm Street, and but I do remember it well enough. I've seen it enough times that I remember. I'm just bad with names. Barely even remember that it's Nancy. Hey, I see Jimmy Presley is in the chat. Hey, man, thank you for stopping by. We're doing jump scares tonight. Jump scares, top 10 jump scares. I've done my number 10 and I've done my number 9. We're trying to rip through these a little bit quickly because we had an issue tonight. Probably, I would call this the biggest issue I've had on this channel at this point. But you never know. It's technology. You just never know when things are going to crap out on you. I've had it crap out on me before during the show, and but it reconnected itself. This time it didn't, so had to restart the stream all over again. Yeah, Miss Carter's back as well. Good to have you guys all back for the most part. You didn't miss too much. I talked about the here's what you missed. Here's the quick recap. I talked briefly about the negative test screenings of the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. If you want to know more about that, go to Mr. H Reviews channel. He's a good channel. If you haven't subscribed to him, he did a live stream about almost 2 weeks ago, I'll say, and it was very informative. We'll say that. That's all. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be a good film, unfortunately, guys. So there you go. I like how Miss Carter says, "Hey, Mr. Merlo, I'm back, sorta." Jeez, I hope you're back. You're there. You're here for now, anyways. Let's hope this stream keeps going, and do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Have to I think, I don't know. I think we had like 13 likes already on the last video. Now I have to restart, and that's okay. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It just helps the algorithm. That's all. No trolls tonight, though. Hey, no trolls tonight. You never know when you're gonna get the trolls. I was gone for 2 weeks, and they forgot about me. That's how it works sometimes. Hey, Justin Sayans is here as well. Awesome, man. Thank you for tuning in. In case you guys don't know who Justin is the maker of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film called Last Roundup Roll and Grill. It's my personal favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film made at this time. So if you want to see what I would consider a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film, go check Justin's out on YouTube. It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool, and it's filmed in Texas, right? Right, it was filmed in Texas. Well, you're from Texas, so I figure it must have been filmed in Texas. But thanks for dropping by and recapping my number 10 and my number 9 favorite jump scares of all time. Number 10 was from Seven, the sloth victim. And number 9 was A Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy's mother. And now number 8, we're going to go to number 8, and that's the ending of Friday the 13th. Jason coming out of the lake, and yeah, it's effective. It's an effective jump scare. And again, maybe some people can see it coming. The first time I saw it, I certainly didn't. But maybe that's because I hadn't seen jump scares like that at that time until I had seen like Kerry and which is another one we'll get to a little bit further up on the list. But yeah, so that's my number 8. Number 8, Friday the 13th ending. There you go. Justin says, "Yep, Texas." So that's my number 8. Let's just go straight to number 7 since I'm probably behind now since all that Gong Show happened. Number 9, this is kind of a funny one. And, it's one of those, it doesn't scare me, but at the same time, you don't see it coming. And that's from Deep Blue Sea, Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, that moment from Deep Blue Sea. The CGI certainly doesn't hold up in this film now. But, man, that moment, Samuel L. Jackson making his big speech and how he overcame so much, and we're not going to give up. And the shark just comes and rips him to pieces. I thought it was great. It's great. It doesn't scare me, but I that was one of those movies I saw in the theater when it first came out. Me being a big Jaws fan, it was one of the movies that I had to see. So I did. And, I don't love the movie. I don't hate the movie, but that moment will always stick out. But yeah, I mean, the CGI doesn't hold up very well. I don't know. It's a movie I can find myself watching. But yeah, of course, you got to talk about that moment. It is a jump scare. It does catch you off guard. Now that you see it coming, it doesn't quite as much, but you still want to watch that moment because he's making such a great speech, Anyways, what's next on the list? Okay, here's one probably most of you haven't seen. You can actually just find this clip on YouTube. I was almost feeling like sharing it because most of you probably haven't seen it. That's a little movie called Cameron's Closet. There's a scene, I believe it's been a long time since I've actually seen the movie. The movie was not really the greatest from what I can remember. But as a kid, I saw it as a kid, and we thought it was kind of cool. But there's a scene, I think it's a detective that's going into the house and inspecting this kid's closet. That's weird shit's happening. And he goes in and he's rummaging through the hangers, the clothes on the hangers, and he comes across this guy. Oh, it's a freaky zombie dude who apparently this is one of the characters in the film that was killed at some point. And yeah, it was kind of a creepy moment, that's for sure. It just kind of comes out of the blue. So go on YouTube, search Cameron's Closet if you haven't. I think they called that scene Closet Zombie, because he's kind of a zombie character. It was kind of, I rewatched the scene, and it still kind of gets me. It was the one scene from that movie. It's like, oh, that gets you. It gets you. But the movie is not the most well known from what I can think of anyways. I think I only saw it from like pay-per-view many years ago. So, yeah. Anybody actually seen that film? Anybody in the chat actually seen Cameron's Closet? Yes, Cameron's Closet. I believe you're spelling it right. Yes. Go on YouTube. Well, you're already on YouTube. Go and search Cameron's Closet Zombie. And just pop back, say, hey, yeah, that was, let me know what you thought. But yeah, I had to put it on the list. It was just, it was, and I rechecked it just to make sure it held up for me, and it did. It might not hold up for some people. It might not work for some people, but it worked for me. And it's I like to talk about movies that not everybody's talking about as well. So after that, the next on my list is we just talked about it a little bit with Friday the 13th, the ending of Kerry. They're kind of similar jump scares in the way you think that, oh, it's just kind of a peaceful ending to the film, and it's kind of a, bittersweet kind of ending, and, it's kind of a touching moment, and then Kerry's hand comes out of the ground and grabs her, but it was a dream sort of thing. I find this one a little bit more effective than the one in Friday the 13th, just personally. I don't know, it just makes me jump a little bit more. It might have to do with the way it's shot or even edited. I'm not sure. It just gets me a little bit more. So, yeah, I mean, Kerry as a film, and even Stephen King has said this was Stephen King's first novel that was published, I believe. That he never thought of it as a horror novel, and it not really as something very scary. It was more of a coming of age type of tale, and it really is kind of, when you look at it. The movie itself never really scared me that much. The mother a little bit, was creepy and stuff like that. Towards the end, it gets a little bit scary, but it was a movie where I really just felt sorry for this poor girl. All the crap she's going through, not just with the being bullied at school, but with her wacko mother, and it's and then to have this great moment happen to you is something you never saw coming, being like the homecoming queen or whatever the prom queen. Sorry, the prom queen. How the hell did I become the prom queen? Can't believe it. And then everything just being destroyed right in front of you, just like that. Just like that. You have the greatest moment of your life all of a sudden to the most horrific moment of your life. And that's powerful. The way that I think that whole prom scene is probably the most emotional. One of the most emotional scenes in a horror movie. Yeah. If I ever make a top 10 scenes that make you cry, that would probably be on there. Anyways, let's see what else we got. That was Kerry, so that was number 6, I believe, or was that 5? That was 5. Cameron's Closet was 6. Kerry's ending was 5. I believe it was Tom Savini who suggested Friday the 13th rip off Kerry, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because it works. It works. I find Kerry works a little bit better, but they're both on my top 10. They're both not that far from each other on my top 10. And, yeah, they're both great. They're both great. They're effective jump scares. Yeah, so there you go. Carlos, what do you say? I thought for a second the jump scare you were going to mention was the one from Lake Mungo. I don't think I know what that is, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know Lake Mungo. Should I know that? Am I dating myself a bit? I don't know. Okay, moving on. Now, some people wouldn't call this a jump scare. I do. And I put it pretty high on my list because it's one of those moments you just can't recreate ever. It's one of the reasons why I almost feel like there should never have even been any sequels, remakes, anything. One of the the first sequel was good though, and that's the Child's Play. That's the moment Chucky comes alive in Andy's. I can't forget her name, in the mother's arms. She's threatening him to throw him in the fire, and the way he comes alive, you're kind of expecting something to happen with Chucky at this moment, but I don't think I ever expected it to be like it was. And the animatronics, boy, they still hold up, man. They were ahead of their time with the animatronics on this film. It looks so real. It's so lively. It's you really believe that doll just came to life, and yeah, it's one of those moments I just don't think you could ever recapture again. And to me, it was the big part of what made the first Child's Play so great. Again, I do love the second movie in Child's Play. A lot of people like the second more than the first. I can't say that, man. I really can't. But I can see why a lot of people do like it more. The effects are even better by that point. They've improved the animatronics more. But it's just, making something more advanced doesn't necessarily always mean it's better. And I think that it was purely a moment like that that they captured, that you're never going to be able to capture that again, because once you've seen it, and once it's done, it's done. You redoing it over and over, it doesn't have the same effect. And I think that's probably why they've gone to like CGI Chuckies now, and which look kind of ridiculous to me. But I get it though. I get it. It is what it is. Child's Play 2 factory worker gets killed by a machine scare. Yeah, there's good. Again, I do. That's the only other Child's Play film I like, is Child's Play 2. That would probably be somewhere in my top 25 horror films of all time. If I was to rank top 25, it would be in there somewhere. Not my top 10. Child's Play, yes, definitely top 10. Child's Play 2, probably top 25. Somewhere. I'm not planning on doing a ranking of my top 25 horror films. So I've already done my top 10. And I gave some honorable mentions, and there you go. Yes, I agree, Miss Carter. So much fun at the end. Yes, torture time for Chucky. After Child's Play, I even found Child's Play 3 to be kind of cheesy. How did Andy grow up so quick? Whatever. But a lot of people like Child's Play 3 too, but I don't. But a lot of people like Child's Play 2 more than Child's Play 1, and I don't see it. I think the first one is definitely the best. Anyways, moving on, because it's almost 9 already. Holy crap. Can't get through this thing fast enough. Just my top 3 now. These are my definite top 3. Some of the other ones could be interchangeable. It was a struggle to put those ones in order, but the top 3 are my top 3. That's just all there is to it. Now, this might shock some of you people out there. This might shock some of you. And that's from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface coming out of the woods in the dark and killing Franklin. Man, that's a great jump scare. And you're probably thinking, geez, Steve, you're a TCM guy. How could you not put this at number one? I think that number one and number two are just... It's my favorite. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my favorite film of all, horror film of all time. But, you know, if I'm going just off jump scares, you know, I cannot be biased just because it's my favorite horror film of all time. It's high. That jump scare is high up on my list. It's a great moment. It's scary as hell. It does catch you off guard. It still even catches me off guard, even though I know it's coming. As soon as Franklin says, Sally, I hear something. Stop. Points the flashlight. Just see him point the flashlight at him. It's great. It's great. And it works so well. But you're going to see what my number two and my number one are. And I think most of you will agree that these top two should be the top two. I hope so. Anyways, I know some people, some of the younger people, some of you might be younger and are more into the more modern movies. I'm not really into a lot of the modern movies. I find a lot of the jump scares are cheap. Not that older movies didn't have cheap jump scares too. I'll say that. In fact, Halloween 2, I love Halloween 2, but man, there's some cheap jump scares in that. You know, the security guard inspecting the area. Okay, what's going to happen? A cat jumps out. You know, the cat jumps out of the dumpster or whatever. I thought that was... Those types of jump scares, I just... Ugh. I roll my eyes at those ones. And the new Blair Witch movie was just littered with those. Not specifically cats, I don't think, but, you know, that type of cheap one where there's nothing scary attached to it. Anyways, just my opinion, but I know a lot of younger people like those, I guess. Now, number two, I think my number two could be a lot of your guys' number one. We'll see. And that is from 1982's The Thing. John Carpenter, you are so awesome. The blood test scene. How could anybody forget this one? Is this not one of those moments, you know? Kurt Russell there, he's like, okay, I'm going to save you for last. You know, and then so you think that this blood test is going to come back fine. And it just hits you. Just hits you. It's a very, very good jump scare. It's awesome. What do you guys think? Should that actually be number one? Should it be number one? I don't think so. It's close. And even this one and the TCM one, I was like battling with a little bit, and I ultimately said no. I think this one's a little bit more iconic than Leatherface coming out of the woods. That was just my opinion, though. Some people might have Leatherface at number one, too. I don't know. So what do you any of you guys have any guesses on what my number one is? Knowing that I'm not much of a modern horror guy. You guys know that I do try. Believe me, I do try to like modern horror. It just really isn't a lot. And the ones that I've liked didn't really have jump scares. So if any of you guys have any guesses on what my number one jump scare of all time is, if you've been following me ever since I started doing this show, you might know. Nobody's guessing so far. Lazy reviewers just said, that scene still gets me jump. Yeah, it's a very jumpy scene. The thing just jumps out of the... That's why. Christian Spencer, Scream opening. No. I know it's... I know what you're talking about, but no. No. I'm okay with... I like the first Scream, but it's not one I'm huge on. Brightburn? No, I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you, John. Friday the 13th, 1980. No, that was earlier in the list. That was like number 9 or something. Jimmy, you mean the end of Friday the 13th, right? When Jason comes out of the lake. Yeah. So, no clue. Nobody else has got any clues. Some of you might be shaking your heads once I tell you. There were a couple other YouTubers I saw had this at number one, though. A couple others, but most of those YouTube channels like Watch Mojo, I can't believe that. Exorcist ending. No, no, it doesn't. Those type again. Those types of movies just don't do it really much for me. I guess. Halloween. No, there was. I was trying to think if there was any really standout jump scare in Halloween. The only one that's kind of a jump scare was Bob's death, and I don't know. Doesn't really have that effect. So nobody got it right, anyways. But hopefully you guys are going to be like, oh, why didn't I think of that one? Because to me, this is the ultimate. I saw it when I was 8 years old, and it still holds up today. And that is Ben Gardner's head coming out of the boat in Jaws. I think it was about episode 3 or episode 4 of me doing this show, Merlo's Movie Massacre, where I did a whole video on Jaws, and I talked about this as being the most effective jump scare, in my opinion. Now, apparently, for those of you who don't know, I don't know, maybe some of you haven't even seen Jaws. I don't know how old some of you are. Anybody in the chat not seen Jaws? Because I don't want to spoil how this jump scare goes if you haven't seen it. Yeah. Jimmy, you've seen it. Anybody not seen it? Anybody not seen Jaws? I hope you've all seen Jaws. I hope so. Hey, Drayton Sawyer, I was wondering if you're going to show up. We had some issues today, though, there, Drayton. Maybe that's why. Maybe you were wondering where the hell to go. Didn't hear my alarm. That's all good, man. It's all good. Well, to recap, I'll do a quick recap before I go into the details of my number one. So we're talking jump scares. This is just quick recap. If you want to know all my details I didn't really give too much details on all these jump scares, but at number 10 was the jump scare from 7, the sloth victim. At number 9 was A Nightmare on Elm Street. At number 8 was Friday the 13th, the ending of that. Number 7 was Deep Blue Sea, Samuel Jackson's wonderful speech. Number 6 was Cameron's Closet, which I'm sure most of you probably haven't seen. Number 5 was the ending of Kerry. Number 4 was Child's Play. Number 3 was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which might have surprised some of you. Number 2 was The Thing blood test scene. And my number 1 is Ben Gardner's head in Jaws popping out of his own boat for Matt Hooper to discover. Now, so I'll get into some details on this. Did anybody say anything? Really? Sort of forgot about that. I'm not a huge into the OG. I love that. Really? Okay. To me, it's one of the greatest movies of all time. It's definitely in my top 5 movies of all time. Love it. Absolutely love Jaws. Although I don't really consider it a horror film, it's one of those movies, but this jump scare is huge. And apparently when they first did test screenings of Jaws, they had this scene a little bit differently. And it didn't get any screams or anything. It didn't really work. And Spielberg actually got greedy, said, I need to figure out how to shoot this scene properly so that it's a big moment, a big scream moment in the film. And so he spent like $5,000 of his own money and reshot the scene in, I believe, the editor's pool. They reshot pretty much everything you see was shot in a pool when you see that scene, which is great. I think that's awesome. They shot that in a pool. Yeah, they reshot it and they figured out how to do it. And then the editor, who won an Oscar, she won an Oscar for editing Jaws, and it's definitely shows the way that scene is edited makes that work so well. in my opinion. The way it's shot is great too, but yeah, the editing was just awesome. So they reshot it, and they when they did more test screenings with that in there, it was huge. It was a huge moment for the film, and yeah, it still gets me. I still can watch it, and I'm like, oh, I jump when it happens, you know. And I first saw that when I was 8 years old. So yeah, it was a pretty intense moment. Yeah. What are you guys saying in the chat? Miss Carter, but I rewatched Jaws last summer and have gained more respect. Oh, that's good to know. It's always, ever since I saw it when I was 8 years old. It was a movie I watched over and over at that time. And then we ended up taping over it with Return of the Jedi. Then I watched Return of the Jedi over and over every day after school. Those were two movies. Those are probably the two movies I've seen more than any other movie. I can say that pretty confidently. When I was 8, that's all I did. It's probably why I failed grade 3, because I was more interested in movies and music than anything else. Nothing else mattered to me back then, especially schoolwork. So I failed grade 3, just so you guys know. Nobody's perfect, right? Pool with milk. Yes, you are right. That is right, Christian. Yes, they put milk in the pool. Give it that milk. Yeah, there you go. That's right. I forgot about that, actually. Jaws has been my favorite movie of all time. You're 41 years. Yeah, you're a little bit older than me, aren't you? I'm turning 41 in about a month and a half. Oh, getting old. I'm becoming an old man. Don't you love getting old, Jimmy? You and I are more or less the same age, so we kind of feel the same probably. Anyways, so that's it. That's my top 10 jump scares of all time. Once again, shout outs to My Special Boy, The Haddonfield Nightmare, and Valentine Bluffs fan films. Their links are in the description. Time to support all of those films. Make sure you do check out those links in the description. Give them your support. And remember that we are the Sawyer Massacre is back crowdfunding on Indiegogo. Not yet, but we'll be back. Our Indiegogo is back on June 15th. And right now we have a pre-launch page up, which you can check out that link in our description, and you can see what kind of cool early bird specials you can get if you get signed up. And all you have to do is just sign up with your email, and you will be eligible for early bird specials that only last till the first day of the campaign, though. And it's just that day to get them, and then regular rates apply. But it's pretty cool to jump on that. And like I said, we're just under $1,000 away from actually getting our film to Texas. So we are super excited to just crush this next campaign. It'll just be a 30-day campaign, though. It's all I really got time for. I got so much pre-production to do. I've got scouts going like crazy in Texas right now, looking for the right places to film at. It was good to know I have good people to count on. And I'm helping them a little bit. I'm using Google Maps and finding some interesting areas that look cool, and maybe there's some cool. Anyways, I'm blabbering on a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Let's just say that. It's a lot of fun. And I'll also say this too. Here's another little thing I didn't say on any of my live streams. One of our screen used Leatherface masks is almost done. Is almost finished being made. Just putting the finishing touches on it. I won't say. I might share like an abstract photo of it when it's done, because I don't want you guys to get the full effect of it. I might do something where it's like hidden in lighting and stuff like that. Yeah, or maybe I'll just take a picture of the mold, just to give you guys an idea. Anyways, just something cool. It's just something that's kind of cool. And we still have one screen used Leatherface mask available. You can pre-order it now on our pre-launch page. So go to our pre-launch page. Link is in the description. All you have to do to pre-order anything, whether it be any perks from our last campaign or something that's on the early bird special, all you got to do is email me. And my email is on that page as well, steven.merlo@gmail.com, and say, I want this. And we had people do that yesterday. It was awesome. I think we're going to be in great shape to have a good start to our next campaign. So definitely look out for that. June 15th is the big day, though. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat before we go. Christian Spencer, I'll be 22 next Wednesday. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you. Just a little bit. Remember 22 like it was yesterday, though. Drayton Sawyer, I'll be the big 34 tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday, Jared. Happy birthday. The big 3-4. Yeah, I remember the big 3-4. Yeah, that was, again, not that long ago. It feels like just yesterday I was with I was not married to my wife at that time. I think that 34, yeah, we had just gotten engaged. We had just gotten engaged when I was 34. Yeah. Anyways, great stream, Steve. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Molly. Thank you for tuning in. I always found the Jaws rating PG. Yeah, I know. But yeah, times were different back then. Me too, but yeah, exactly. Saw his family. Look forward to that gold. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jimmy, wasn't Jaws also first summer blockbuster? Yes, it was. You are very, very right, Bobby. Very, very right. Thanks, I feel old now. Hey, I'm older than you, Jared, so, until you hit your 40s, then you're not old. Yes. June 15th is my 19th wedding anniversary. Yes, Jimmy, I think you said that to me already. That's cool, though. Happy anniversary. My anniversary is July 30th. 31st. Sorry, 31st. Getting mixed up on my day. Forgot which months have 30 days and which have 31 days. But don't tell my wife I said that. she'll get on me for saying that. July 30th. No, it's 31st, you moron. Anyways, guys. I think I've just blabbered on enough now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for the technical difficulties we had today. It really sucks I had to restart it. The first time I've ever had to restart it. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I wasn't going to not do a show for you guys tonight, especially since I've been off for a little bit. And I'm sure you guys missed me. So I think we got most everybody back for the most part. And Drayton Sawyer, you tuned in late anyway, so there you go. Miss Carter, I'm really probably the oldest in your live. Well, you don't have to say your age, so don't worry about that. But yeah, maybe you are. I don't know. I don't know how old Bobby is. I don't know. Jimmy is the same age as me. Who else do we know? We got a few people. Some of these people might be older. I don't know. Carlos, I don't think Carlos is very old. John, I think John's older than I am. I think John, let me know if you're older than I am. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I'll wrap her up there, guys, because I got the wife coming home soon, and I gotta give her some loving. I have derailed, haven't I? Anyways, we'll see you guys. I'll let you know when the next live stream is coming pretty soon. Probably next week sometime, I think. We'll look at the schedule and get back to you. Have a good night, guys.